turning round in circles just to see. And I am spinning all alone but so carefree, 'cause that's me. Every morning when I wake.
Hey. 1 2 1 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest talk radio show around, providing an open discussion for some of the most important social issues and trending topics today. From personal growth or spirituality to sex and relationships, no subject is ever taboo. So prepare to be empowered, enlightened, and entertained during another episode of the award-winning Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Real people, real topics, real talk.
Gotta do it, and won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it, because I may not get another chance. I believe it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It is July the 26th, 2017. We are our final show for the summer series.
I know.
2017. Feels good.
It does it.
I'm ready for a break.
Are
I'm
you?
ready. Yes.
Can you hear me?
All y'all do is show up and put on makeup.
That's right.
Argue over the
I
fan.
just put my makeup on.
Talk about being
You can't
thirsty.
hear me.
Wear
Thirsty.
good smelling oils.
You don't have your earphones on, so that's probably why
Yeah, that's why you can't hear. I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. Would you like me to cut it down though?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. How's everybody doing? I'm in the studio with my girl Paula B. Back with Caprice Elmore. My boy Nate Whitfield, and we have Rhonda Arrington. She's on the way.
Yes. Love
She's
you,
stuck in
Nate.
traffic. Yeah. How's everybody week going?
Good.
This is our midweek check-in.
Yes, this
Yes.
has been a kind of rough week for me.
Why?
A couple of days. I had some issues at work and some
You had
other
to fire
things.
somebody.
God, it's just been rough. It's been a rough week, professionally
You have a you're
and
fired
personally.
attitude, though. I don't know why it wasn't. I thought you were taking pleasure in that.
I know. You know what? I have fired so many people, and each time I do it, it makes me feel really bad. Like I had
they
to,
can't eat, Paula.
Right, I know. I felt bad, and I had to fire somebody during a holiday, and I know my brother was like, and my brother lives in Connecticut, and he's a police officer. He's like, my God, he said you couldn't wait to. Who does that? I'm like, I had no choice, but I tried my very best to work with this young lady so I wouldn't have to fight. I will go to the ends of the earth to try to work with you so I will not fire you. They even started giving me a nickname.
Very stressful, though. I did a program when I was working I was working at this company called Household, and I was in a program where I was doing HR, and I think that is a stressful part to have to fire somebody.
It is.
It's not as easy.
Would it be
as
hard for you, Caprice?
Would it be hard? Yeah. Well, if they were stealing my money, then no.
Caprice is crazy. But they start calling me the hatchet lady. Because I was
Giving
just
everybody
firing.
the axe.
I hate to do this.
Yes.
But I have to say you're right. You were right. Can you please reach back there and cut the fan up a little bit for me?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
told you it was gonna be hot in here.
Just the one right up under the.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
While they
There
doing
you
that,
go.
my
Go
weekend was
warm up.
good.
Yes, because
Came
you
back.
went to where?
Vegas. Excellent. I had an excellent week. I did lose money.
Didn't you go
Only
to
about
Vegas this year
$20.
already?
No, this is my first time going.
Really? Okay.
I had a good time. I was tired when I came back because of the time difference. But other than that, turn up. That's right.
Any highlights from your trip? I'm gonna live vicariously through you. I haven't been anywhere.
No, I mean, we didn't get to really see anybody, celebrity. I was looking. I mean, I've never been in Tom Ford store, so I went in there.
Oh, how was it? Everything.
Yeah, everything what they said it is. Went
4
to
digits or
Chanel.
more?
Yeah. We just went into all the stores and just looked around and like, oh, okay.
You picked up something.
No, I think when you younger and a younger age, it's like, oh, thank you. I want to get this.
Yeah, that's
I want to get
true.
Mercedes. I want to get Louis.
Yeah.
And then when you're capable of doing it,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem
Oh,
like
yeah,
a big deal
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's
I
like,
guess the hype is
No, I
in the
don't
chase
think that's
and
what
getting
it
it.
is. When you're capable of doing it, then you're saying, do I really want to spend my
Yeah,
money?
that's right. Yeah.
You didn't buy one thing?
Well, no, I bought a pocketbook, but I bought that.
Okay.
I bought that when my daughter went in college. I was like an empty nest gift for myself, and I went to the Louis store and bought a nice bag. So, but I ain't find nothing. I wanted the Chanel brooch, but it was $550. My girls was like, "You not gonna spend that money? $550 for a brooch?
Not that bad for a brooch.
$550 for a brooch.
$550.
Yeah.
Oh, it's made
It's
of
the
diamonds.
Chanel.
Just so
Yeah.
say because
Yeah.
of the
My friends
C's
in
on
Because
it.
of
DC,
the
that's
C's,
how
yeah.
they are there.
And I said no.
They just go shopping. And they be like, oh, we're going to Macy's this weekend, and we're going to get, because they are having a new Louis. And I be like, oh,
Been
okay.
there, done that.
You going with us? You know I am.
It's so
I-
crazy.
I did go to Ross. Now they had Gucci, and
Girl,
they
you went to
had
Vegas and went to Ross.
Louis, and they had a Ross in the middle.
That would be me.
But
That would
I
be me and
got
Paula.
some nice shoes.
Yes.
I got some nice shoes out of Ross. I actually got shoes at Ross and then Zara. Zara's a banging store
That's my
too.
store. I like Zara.
So, yeah.
See, I never been in
can't
Zara.
get
See, the
but
shoes that I have on now came from Ross.
Yes, love them.
Right.
So yeah.
And
Those when you wore to the pageant?
no, these are not the other one. Nope, I did not wear those. Those came from Ross as well.
Okay.
And my really nice black shirt I got, Michael Kors, came
Yeah.
from Ross.
Yeah.
And my
That's the type of place where you have the look.
Yeah.
Nate does not like the look.
See, but that skirt I had
You don't
on
like
Sunday,
that
that Calvin Klein skirt, it came from
Yeah.
Ross.
Oh, for church?
I don't even
Oh,
like
my,
the
yeah.
stores.
Paula has
They
been
have
going to
sales
church.
and mess.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have been going to church.
What church you been going to?
Grove.
What's the name
I
of
did
it?
see the highlight.
At the cross.
I know I had a cross on the door.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been going. I wanted to finish up the series, that they
right,
were having,
right.
because my
But you know it's not finished. It's for the month.
right. I know my
Yeah.
favorite word is love, and that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Pastor Melvin O. Mariner.
yes,
Blessings out to him.
yes,
Yeah.
he's a really cool dude.
Yeah, he is.
Down
Yeah.
to earth. He's been here before.
Yeah,
on the show.
that's why I ended up going to the church, because I could be so transparent. He was so real with me.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even care if you call him Pastor Mel, because we had that conversation. But he was just really cool.
Yeah.
And I like one of the things that he said the Sunday before last, is like, I don't really like hanging out with a lot of pastors and stuff, because all they want to talk about is money and how many members do you have.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't want to do that.
That's right.
And that was really cool. But he just keeps it real, So I really like him a lot. So
My daughter ran track with his son, Josh.
Oh, Josh.
And
Okay, yeah.
every time we was at in New York at all the track meets, he was there at every track meet. Now he would fly in and fly back. So yeah, he's a real
That's
good
what's
dude.
up.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
a good
seen his
dude.
son. I went to a alpha party with my friend. I think the gentleman's name was Massey.
Oh yeah.
He had a-
Greg.
you talk about
Nancy,
the attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
You know-
He had
Yeah, I know him.
I had an
Yeah.
alpha pool party.
I know
It
his
was
wife,
really
Tracy.
nice. It was really nice.
Yeah.
She was there. Yeah, it was really nice. So it was. I seen him there. So it was a lot of attorney stuff there. Sometimes you sitting around with them people. You like when somebody down to earth. It's like he came and sat
Yeah.
next to us, laughing and joking. Like, oh, okay. And he told her how much his house was. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because some of them walk around like so bougie.
Sticks. Yeah.
Like, cut that out. You put your underwear on.
You
just
paying
one
your
leg-
same student
right.
loan like we
With
are.
everybody
Yeah,
else. You may.
the church paid it, but okay.
Right.
Oh God.
But I know one thing that everybody's done here so far. I don't know about Rhonda, but we got to check out Girls Trip.
Yes.
Now, 3 people really liked to see it. They really liked it, but there's one person here who was like, it was all right.
It was cool.
What? You
It
didn't
was
laugh?
nice yes, I laughed. I mean, but I don't think I will keep going back to see it.
Well, I want to go back to see
I
it
wanna
again
go
because
back
I
again,
missed
too.
so
'Cause
many
there's so
lines.
many people
What did you
laughing.
miss?
I missed a lot because
People were
everybody was laughing. I mean,
Uh,
when they did the zip line and when the old man came
It was against the window,
was
yeah.
against the
Okay.
window.
Now, when you and I went, and then when he and I went, it was 2 different crowds.
Was
They
it?
were really turned up at ours, but they were kind of like snooty at the one.
Really,
when
but you know what was really cool though that I really liked, and even when I went to work when
Mm-hmm.
everybody was talking about it, all the women, because I was listening to the conversations, everybody was saying, what character am I?
Yeah.
Or they were saying, you're this character, oh no, I'm not. Yeah, you're really Lisa. And what was the other wild girl's name?
Dana.
Dina?
Dina, yeah. And so I was asking my girlfriend, I said, my girlfriend Tish, I was like, so which one did you think I was? Which one do you think she picked for me?
Dina?
Probably
Straight up
probably
Dina.
Jada Pinkett.
No.
No?
Lisa?
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
You think I was Sasha?
Who was Sasha?
Sasha.
That's what was her name? Sasha. Queen Latifah's name was.
Yeah, Sasha. That was her. Did you go see it?
Yeah.
Ooh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Queen
it was good.
Latifah's name was Sasha.
Yeah.
And that's.
No, you were Dina all the way.
Who is Dina?
You think I'm that?
Dina is the turned up one.
The turned up one. Do you think that would be her, or would I be Sasha?
I keep flashing back seeing you at the library about the
Yeah, so I was about to go. Well, my girlfriend did think that I was Dina.
Yeah.
Because she said, even though she's wild and like to have a lot of fun, but she said that I'm Dina because of the way I am regarding my friends in my relationship.
Oh, okay.
That I will just go all out, you know, for my friends and, you know,
Yeah,
ride
she
or die
was.
like that. So she said you have the compassion that she had when it came to her friends. And I told her, thank you for that. I
I'm a
appreciate
combination.
Your combination?
Yeah, I got all of them in me. I got all of them in me. But when we went in Vegas on our girls trip, and we were like, the first show was like 11 o'clock, so there was hardly nobody in there. So we got to listen to everything. Like you like drowned out.
11 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, that was smart. Yeah.
We went to the first showing.
Yeah. I mean, it was packed.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was packed.
Because y'all went in the evening, right?
Yeah, at what, 7?
On the first night
was
it
at
came
7.
out?
The first
Right,
night.
yeah.
Oh, you never do that.
it wasn't-
Never
it
go to a
wasn't-
black
When
show.
we
the
got
first
there, it
night
wasn't
came out,
that
you
packed.
never
Right.
gonna
You
hear
have
it.
to. You got to Yeah, support. but You got to you have to support.
Oh,
So
for the
yeah,
one. Okay,
right.
yeah, but you don't hear it.
No, you do
It's
hear
so
it
much
because-
laughing and
right,
joking
right.
and-
I mean, but it was, even though I missed some lines, the whole ambiance of the whole thing and everybody, all the women in there and everybody was, it was just the energy in the room that made it more exciting for me.
Well, I didn't see it until, hello, listeners.
Hey.
I am here.
Yeah.
You know, I had babysitter issues, and so I just finally decided to have CPS come and find me. Me and my 2-year-old and my sister, we saw the movie yesterday
Your
after
2-year-old?
the matinee. We sure did, judge me not. We brought her tablet, some earphones. Told her seat was a car. And homegirl sat down. She was good all the way to the last 25 minutes. But, which was great because that first part of the movie was a lot of cussing.
The
Uh-huh.
whole
Cussing.
thing was
But
cussing.
I know, but the first part, it was
was-
like
oh,
it was
yeah.
concentrated. It was
Yeah.
like every other word.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the question?
I
Did
think
we
you,
like the
Dina, I
movie?
think you, Dina,
We
already.
hadn't gotten to
Look,
it
I
yet.
just met you, and I think you, Dina.
I would kind of agree with you. Because of the funny part. Now, you know, as bold as she is with the other part, you know, that ain't never caught up with me. I tried. I did. You know, in my early 20s, I tried my best. I tried my best.
You
to
gave
do
it your
stuff.
best shot.
I did. And all I got was a baby. You know, I ain't about that life.
Exactly.
See, you was doing that wrong.
I was doing that
Exactly.
I got caught up.
You ain't used the grapefruit.
Right, I used grapefruit. Funny story about that offline. Anyway,
Yeah.
real life.
But okay, so the girl who really took the show was Tiffany Haddish.
Yes,
so
I
she
love
wrote
her.
an article. She said making this movie was a dream come true. She said growing up, she used to watch women like Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, Regina Hall, all on TV, just hoping one day that she would cross paths with them. She said she remembers watching them as a young teen and wanting them to be her friends. You know, we've all done that.
Right.
She said the movie is packed with meaningful lessons of love, friendship, and self-care. But at its core, it sends a resounding message about the power of sisterhood.
Right.
And the beauty that comes from the support and love that is shared within it. She says that we need each other. Men, which I don't agree, try to pit us against each other. And we start turning against each other and start stifling each other. She said we're all beautiful. But I wanted to talk about the part where she said that she always wanted them to be her friends. I want to know, can you name 3 celebrities that you wish that you
sure
could see
can.
that you wish would be your friends? A part of your Flossy Posse crew.
Okay, 2 things that have nothing to do with your question. But when I was in college, we too had a posse. It was called the 4th Floor Wheatley Posse.
Are you serious?
We did, and we were known
In the
as
dorm.
4WP. Second thing, shouting out to Howard University, real HU. Okay. Second thing, I feel like she threw a shade to their age by saying when she was a teenager, she watched them being famous, like she was a teenager and they were grown. And then thirdly, yes, I have always felt that if Tracy Ellis Ross and I were to meet, we would become instant BFFs.
Why?
Because I love her personality, her quirkiness. I just do. I love what seems to be her character. I don't mean like character she plays, but she seems to have a lot of character. She seems to be real compassionate. She doesn't pigeonhole herself with a certain group, you know, and so I think she'll be real. She seems real down to earth and real relatable, and that her and I could really laugh and cry together and have a good time. I used to have an unhealthy girl crush on Sanaa Lathan. I'm still in therapy about that one. And I think Gabrielle Union now. Back in the day, I thought she was overrated, you know, but
I was
now,
gonna say her too.
Yeah, I like her now.
Okay.
I said that's all I got.
You, Paula?
Let me see. I would say Oprah for sure.
Okay.
I think that if I met Oprah, that I think that we would hit it off. I really, really do, because of our personality, our energy. I think we would hit it off. My second person would be Patti LaBelle.
Oh yeah,
because I love Patti LaBelle. There's just something about her that I want. She's on my bucket list, and I know that once she meets me, she's gonna love me.
Right.
And I'm, you know, because I already love her. And let me see, who would the third one be? You know, Debbie Allen.
Yes.
Because
that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always wanted to meet Debbie Allen because, you know, we have so much in common. I love to dance. And I think that because she's so transparent and I am as well, and we have that dance thing in common, I think that we would hit it off really well.
Okay. All right.
I don't know, but I mean, I know Oprah's one.
Okay.
Because I like her knowledge. I like how she's opened herself up to many different things. You know, religion, just to learn. She'd love to learn. I like Lala Anthony.
Yes.
I like her.
Oh, you like to eat?
No, I just like her because just the way
Isn't that
she
the
is.
girls on Power?
I don't watch Power, but I know that's
Carmela
Anthony's wife.
Okay,
Yeah.
Estranged wife.
Yeah, estranged wife. Yeah, exactly. and Jada Pinkett Smith. Those are my three.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why Jada?
Because she's a little bit of hood. She's a little bit of, you know, sophisticated. She's the whole package. So she know how to get down if she needs to, and she know how to walk in the room when she needs to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Nate?
For me, it would probably be, of course, Will Smith, because he's cool and he's like he would have a lot of fun. But then I have a really unhealthy crush on The Game. I follow him on, but he is such a cool daddy.
Really?
Yes.
Who is it?
The Game. And like his kids, he have 4 boys. It's crazy because he got 2 boys from somebody else, but they look exactly like. Well, I guess because he the daddy. But what he love about his kids is they all have their own room, and he have one little girl. They all have their own room, but all the 4 boys still like to sleep together.
Oh, the closeness.
Yeah.
So he's just a really cool person. So, and then I like Anthony Hamilton. Because I would love somebody to sing with.
Right. I can see that.
And he's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
He is a really cool.
Just 2?
Anthony Hamilton, he's cool.
Part of your
So I say Will Smith,
Game.
Yeah,
and that's a good eclectic group of friends.
It is.
Yes.
Could they all hang around each other?
I think so. Will is our money. That's what we go to for our loans.
Right.
Game we go to for our medicinal things.
Right. And protection.
That's right.
And Anthony Hamilton, he lifts us up.
That's right.
He gives us our weekend entertainment.
Right.
For me, Oprah, of course, because she's gonna make sure I'm connected and that I get it. Will Smith, because he's fashionable. He's going when we go out, we're gonna look good together. We're gonna have fun. He's gonna make me laugh. He's gonna probably be a little goofy. But then I always like a fly girl. That's why when we go together, I always make sure you there. So I either want to hang around either Gabrielle Union because she likes to dress up and go. She likes to have fun. I know she probably likes to talk about people. And I like Taraji because Taraji can do that. But then we want to cut up. I know she can get she can get that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, you know one person I forgot. Now first I have to say that Debbie Allen. You're right. You would absolutely love her because I've met her several times, and she's the whole reason why I even went to Howard. She's great. I would also say Melissa McCartney. Do y'all know that?
Oh yes.
She
You know the girl from like.
Yeah.
That now
she's hilarious.
She is. I need people that are hilarious around me because I love to laugh and I have to be serious when I have to be serious and I'll find somebody to be serious with. But I like people who are okay to be funny and I don't always have to be the funniest person in the room.
Exactly.
So I would love to hang out with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What was the movie Identity Thief?
Yeah.
She was hilarious. And the Boss. Did you see Boss?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I watched that the other day with Sierra.
So,
But of course, Lala Anthony is the truth.
oh, you didn't even include her. Is it
Because I wouldn't want to hang with a bunch of women.
Well, you named
No
her. You
offense
named
to
her.
the women that's in
What a big job.
there. But you know, I
I like
love.
Lala.
I love me some Lala Anthony.
Yeah, she's good. And she ain't leaving her husband according to her.
Oh, she
She
said she
gonna
not.
leave him.
She said no. She said right now that's not on their mind. Cayenne is there on their mind right now.
Oh, yeah, the
That's
son.
what they gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
But they not together.
That's not the topic we're talking about, but I hate when people stay together for their kids.
I know.
So, yeah. Who else has something to talk about?
Oh, we're gonna
Anybody?
talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's give them something.
Well, look, can we talk
So we
about
gotta talk
your
about
thing?
R. Kelly.
Which
Well,
one?
With I don't know if you want to go there yet. Donnie McClurkin.
Oh, my girl getting
Oh,
married. Yeah.
I want to talk about Donnie McClurkin. Go ahead, y'all start it off, then I'll jump in.
Okay.
It's Will's
Okay,
article.
so
Go ahead,
you
Will.
go ahead,
I want
Will.
you to get to that one first.
So excited. My girl getting married.
Your girl-
Is she? This will sound wrong.
Who is
Is she
she?
somebody? Because her name's a little
Will
familiar.
say
she
she's
was
a
a
gospel artist.
Oh, I don't know her. I'm talking about Donnie. Let me see.
How she was calling your girl?
Let me see here. Oh, Nicole Mullen.
Help us
Who
on
is
the
she?
way. I don't want to talk to you.
She's a
anymore.
gospel singer.
Oh,
Nicole.
maybe that's
okay.
why she sounds
So
familiar.
go ahead.
Yeah, she sings.
I didn't mean time.
Well, he says that, it's not a hidden fact that he's fought his homosexuality and he claims that he won. He reported that he's getting married. I know he's been engaged to her for a while. But he's admitted that there will be no marriage until they go through marriage counseling together. He said, honestly, the only thing in my life that is missing is marriage. The only thing that is missing in my life that can cause real family is marriage. Financially, I'm there. Spiritually, I'm almost there. Emotionally, I'm getting it together, is what he told me. So he said the only thing that he's missing is marriage. So I'm going to ask you guys,
Well,
what are y'all missing in your life?
pass.
First of all, he got to come to truth with himself.
That's the wrong to say. That's the question.
That's the question.
Oh, okay.
Not getting me in it. Yeah.
You heard me say pass, right?
Oh, okay.
What are y'all missing in your life?
Okay.
She was like,
I know. As I said,
That's
first you
the
got to come to
question.
truth with yourself first. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm missing in my life.
It's the truth to this story.
The truth to this story, number one, Nate, and some cookie jar conversations.
Oh,
That's what I'm missing
So
in my
who-
life.
cookie jar.
Conversations.
What's cookie jar conversation?
cookie. The cookie jar was replaced with grapefruit and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Missing.
Cookie,
Once a
okay,
year.
yeah.
So Donnie,
Mm-hmm.
what are you thinking?
Here's what I'm gonna say something about Donnie.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I will say this, and I apologize in advance if I need to because I offend anyone. I say I did not like how he was referred to in the article as formerly gay.
Yes.
Because all we've ever known as Donnie McClurkin is we've never knew him when he was gay. We only knew him as his reformed, and y'all can't see my air quotes. We've only seen him as.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought maybe it happened since he's been.
No, well, as long as he's been a gospel artist,
Oh, okay.
and as long
He's
as
been
he's been
reformed.
out, he goes out almost. This is a bad way to say it, as a scapegoat, talking about the molestation and all the stuff growing up, and that maybe using that as the reason why he was gay.
Okay.
But as long as we've known Donnie McClurkin as a gospel artist, he's never been gay.
Okay.
So I don't like how it says formerly gay as if he was gay last year, like homeboy that got delivered and now he's getting married. So I didn't like that. Now, whether or not Donnie McClurkin has been
Touched. Go ahead.
has transitioned from one part of life to another part of life, only Donnie McClurkin knows. And I will say that anyone who has talked to me for more than 30 minutes, I'm transparent.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself bisexual, but I have been in one relationship with a woman, and the majority of my relationships I've been in with men. And I think that during that particular moment when I was in that relationship, if I had to check a box, I would have to check the homosexual box. But if
Why though?
I said if I had to.
Oh, okay.
But personally, I felt that in that moment, I was free. I felt free to be with who I felt I wanted to be with at that moment.
Okay.
And now the majority of my moments have been men. That doesn't mean that You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I'm saying. What
I definitely
I
understand what you're
So
saying.
you're saying that it's not written in stone that you may not ever be with a woman again.
Right, and I may never. It's not about me, but I may never be, or I may never not be. But the point about Donnie McClurkin is, I think we are shadowing what his sexual preference may or may not have been probably 20 years ago, and almost throwing shade to the fact that this man wants to get married. Anyone who wants to get married should have premarital counseling. You know, I don't like how the article makes it is inferring that he's having this counseling to make sure he's not gay before he gets married. But that's what I feel about the article.
But here's my thing: whose business is it?
Right, Paula.
I guess it's
whose business is it?
I'm thinking the church's business or
why?
It's none of their business.
None of
but
their business.
My issue with the article is when you come out or when they come out and say formally. See, I'm either you are or you're not. I believe you can either born or not, because I know a lot of people that do not sometimes wish they wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm this person, I'm going to have to be this person. I believe when you say informal that, you letting people know that you can change if you want to. So that means everybody just happen to want to be gay.
Exactly.
No, it's either you are or you're not.
Right.
I don't believe you can just do that.
You can flip it
So,
on.
yeah, exactly. My nephew was 2 years old. He had a towel on his head. We knew automatically. He never told us, but by his lifestyle, we know. So, and he always said, he got teased, Caprice, if I could be a boy, I would. So I think this article is making America, whoever having a misunderstanding of what gay and lesbian is.
I think so many
anybody
people
could just change, then people would change.
are going back and forth.
Issue. Yeah.
Whenever I think about this issue, I think of the issue that Ellen had with whoever that girl was before Portia, and how she was in this relationship for a long time, and then automatically she said that she wanted to be with a man. And I think it was a situation where it was just recreational. She just wanted to try it.
Exactly.
And then people are so afraid of getting labeled as homosexual, and then the stigma, the negative stigma that comes behind that.
But at the same time, I do believe that your heart can want what it wants. I do know that when I was little, how I struggled, and not even little, even to my well into my adult, how I struggled really bad with it, and simply because of church. I think church made me struggle more than what I probably would have struggled if I didn't grow up in the church. But church is what also set me free from it, because I had to realize he made me, so he know everything there is to know about me.
Right.
So, but I do believe that people that teach their children how to love, it opens the child up in a different way, where if me and Caprice is out, and I'm like, oh, she's a beautiful lady, and she's giving me what I want. I mean, because I think I would still date a girl. I think I would. Yes, I would, to the listeners.
Well, being gay doesn't mean that you don't recognize beauty.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I don't think that if I fell in love with her, I don't know if I could get married, because I don't think, for me, I couldn't love a woman to the core the way I can love somebody else.
I don't think it's a heart thing when it comes to that. I think it's a sexual thing.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying.
You can be in love with anybody, but
that's what I was going to
who
say.
you are attracted
Exactly.
to sexually is what the
But you know
thing
what,
is, right?
but
Let me ask. Go ahead.
Well, I'll be real quick because I want to hear what Paula has to say. The biggest thing is that all this conversation that we're having is great, but none of this I feel has anything to do with Donnie McClurkin getting married. And I think he's, whatever his reasons why he took so long, whatever, it's his, like Paula said, his personal business, and I don't think it should have been linked to his sexuality one way or the other, because that's never been an issue.
Yeah.
When people talk about there being fans of his music, they don't ever say formerly gay. You know, Donnie McClurkin is starting a new show called Lift Every Voice. That's not how he promoted Lift Every Voice. We've never heard formerly gay or gay, or is he gay? Is he not gay? When you hear Donnie, when people are promoting Donnie McClurkin, I'm not saying people never thought about it, you know, because of stereotypes, his mannerisms, and yada yada yada.
They don't do that with any of them. I mean,
I think it's an injustice.
You, deal with you just know by the way they.
Well, Lord, you know.
But what he did was, what he said.
She done throw poor little Ricky Dillon under the bus.
Lord, like let Ricky know.
That's my jam. Let the word do the word.
You just know.
But you know what? Okay, so this week, as you know, I started back seeing my life coach, and the thing I'm really going back is because I want to become more comfortable enough to be transparent with this next half of my life. And he's a Christian life coach, so reconciling my sexuality with the Bible is like a heavy focus.
Right.
And he was just saying that one thing that you have to realize is when you go towards God, said, you know, when you ask him for forgiveness, he forgets it, but doesn't say anything about the world. So when Donnie McClurkin came out with all this, he had to realize that he was going to continually get what we're giving him right now, or what some of us are giving him right now. So him coming forth now saying that he wants to marry a woman, evidently the only thing that really matters is if she knows about it, she's fine with it, and whatever.
And that he's doing it for the right purpose.
He came out with it. He gave us this.
He never said he was gay.
But
I've never heard him say
but
that.
he
said he struggled.
He's always talked about the, like Rhonda was saying, the after part.
Tyler Perry said his body. What did he say? His body betrayed him.
Yes. But my
Tyler
thing
Perry.
is,
We're not even gonna talk about him. Let's leave him off.
I just wish that.
I like to have it.
I hope that Donnie McClurkin is doing it for the right reason.
Exactly.
Correct.
You're right.
That's the only thing that I don't like about it is, you know, if you're marrying her to cover up, or you're marrying her
out of guilt,
and what the church may feel. I think that's when it becomes bad.
But is his reason good enough? The only thing that's missing is a wife.
I mean, if that's what he wants.
Because you think that's what makes him whole.
The only thing missing in my life is a Bentley.
But,
I mean, they don't make it right.
Right. But at this stage of the game for him, he should, he has nothing to lose. You should be really comfortable in your skin. Because half your life.
I mean, that's easy to say
over.
sitting on this side of the table. But this man is heavy into church.
He's a pastor, right?
Church can be.
Well, the thing about it, you got a lot to kick out.
Yeah, that's rolling under the cover.
Flag waving.
Right.
You got a lot to kick out, so that can't be good.
I see some of them
Somebody give me a
wearing
sanctified name.
pink suits.
Fool said flag waving.
Well,
But will not say that they gay.
You don't have to tell me.
You don't have to tell me. It's evident.
Swiss.
But that's why I don't get it. I don't get it to other people.
But like I said, hey, what you do behind
that's
closed
why
doors
I go
is what you
and
do.
I leave.
Okay, let's not even bring up that
She's like,
conversation.
stay around, congregate. I'm like, no, who do that at church? I'm one of the first people
That's
out to
part
my
of the
car
black culture. Of the church
to hit
culture.
it or to congregate.
To congregate,
Do you like that? Do you do
You
that?
have to fellowship.
Do you think I don't?
Minister,
You
she
have to.
got to.
All right, I'm a minister and I'm charismatic.
Exactly. You have
can't
a
do it.
choice.
She wants to walk up and she wants to shake the pastor hand right by the wife.
Right. You know,
Skip all over her.
What's the point of going?
Teach him,
I
Paula.
can't say exactly what I told him yesterday.
I used to be like that too.
But I told him.
Now I receive.
What was the excuse?
God bless
The
you.
reason why he said he doesn't do that because he says he. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he knows how church people are.
Yes.
So I was like, well, really, how are they? You can't lump everybody in a box
If that ain't
because
true.
of what has transpired in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I told him, I said, well, if
However,
that's
church
the case,
people still show their head.
but wait
And
a
I know
second.
you be dressing,
But-
so I know.
Oh my God,
You
to the
mad.
nine.
I know.
To the nine.
Take a picture.
But-
What's
but
up there,
the
Paul?
thing
Stop
I
seeing.
am. So, but what I told him was that if that is the case, you should not get up in the morning, wash your tail, put on
Oh,
your
he don't think-
clothes because he looks amazing when he go
Uh-huh.
when we go to church. To sit there and listen. I'm like, if that's the case, stay home. Save your gas,
Bedside Baptist.
save your clothes, and listen on the radio.
So you go to church to stay and mingle, is that what you're saying?
You should, yeah.
That's the fellowship.
What is part of the
Fellowship,
fellowship?
brother.
Fellowship.
Mhm.
You know, you'll get to know who's who.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because everybody, even if you don't go to the church, everybody got game. Everybody has something with them.
So what are the steps? What's the directions? You stay and then you just introduce yourself to people?
Okay, well,
Like
have
a-
you
You
like-
been going there. You don't know nobody right now.
I know, no.
He knows nobody because
I know the
we
pastor,
go-
his wife. I know the key people. Whenever I go in church, I always strategically find some key people. So when some stuff go down, they got my back. I've already
What
located
I
them.
tell people when we talk about assimilation,
Uh-huh.
because this is kind of what Paul is talking about, the church term assimilation. You know, how do you become a part of the church? You know, the fellowship is it's the same thing you do if you go to a cocktail party. You know, they'll have a speaker and they'll do whatever they have to do, and then you'll mingle. And a lot of times after church, the parking lot or whatever, there's always the meeting after the meeting. But maybe join a ministry at the church. You join a ministry, something, you know, maybe the media. I'm only pigeonholing you in that because you do media. But join the media ministry. Be in the background.
Well, I'm a part of the special events committee, which is all women. But,
okay.
But what I was trying to tell
but you'll meet more people.
Yeah, right.
I mean, everybody has had church hurt.
Right.
Yeah. Bottom line, case closed. Use that as a life lesson. It happened. You know what it looks like. You know what it feels like. So the thing of it is that once you know what it looks like and feels like, you can remove yourself from it when you feel it's happening. But don't blame everybody for it, and don't ignore everybody, because as soon as we get it, listen, Linda, when it's church, when church is over, listen, I'm gonna have my bag, my glasses, everything, because we are out the door, walking briskly.
Briskly.
The
the car is started by the time you get
he's
there.
like, well, I'm like, well, I have to park here because I want to get right out. I said, well, let's walk around. No, the doors are open over here in the back. And we're going, well, we came, it's crazy. I was like, I'm sweating by the time, profusely by the time I get to the car. I'm like, you have got to cut that out.
You can actually stay there and I could drive around and pick you up.
Right, that's true too. But the thing of it is that I told him.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so I admit, so it is. It is a fear of judgment. It's a fear of.
It will help you with you trying to live authentically, to be transparent. You know, this is unorthodox.
Oh,
that's
that is a good. That is
you know,
a good example too. That's
but
a good
you know, if
thing.
anybody does something to you in the church, you know I'm gonna comfort them. You know that, right?
Well, I don't want that.
Oh no, but that is very
you're
serious.
not Dina, right? You think you?
No, I'm not. But you know, if anybody does anything to Will, you know what I mean. I'm gonna get.
What service do you go to?
I normally go to 8, but we've been going to 10:30. We've been enjoying 10:30.
Oh, yeah, because 8 is for old folks.
No, it's not. 8 o'clock is for people that's going to heaven. 10 o'clock is for
that's
those.
That's what they say. The sunrisers are the real. They're the real believers. That is what they say.
Yes, 8 o'clock is for those of us that's going to heaven.
And I'd be happy too, because if I go out
10:30
on
is
Saturday
waking up
night,
from the club like I gotta make my point.
Exactly.
When I go out on Saturday night and he's like, "Oh, we going to 10:30," I'm like, "Thank you."
I know that's why you've been asking.
Because I'll be so tired. So my husband's
But see,
like,
8 o'clock you
go
get
to
home
church
so
on
early.
Sunday.
Right.
And you done went out Saturday night, which I do. I have some
Nothing wrong
wine.
with it.
Yes, I did. Did I drop it? Yes, I did.
And then went on to
And then I went on to church. But I don't. Me myself, I don't. They call it something. What do they call those people that go to church on? I mean, go out on Saturday and then
People.
go to church on Sunday. No, it's another
Regular
name for
people.
it.
churchgoers.
Yes.
If Lawrence is listening, I want him to tell us what it is. He called it something or something.
Oh,
But the thing of it is that that's
half.
what I did. You know what I mean? So, and I don't feel guilty about
Fence
it.
riders don't be half and half.
So,
I
are
don't
you
know.
ask you another question?
Yeah.
So, are you the type of person who feels like you can't get serious about your faith and give your life to Christ because you're still doing something? Because you still
No,
go out and stuff like that?
I have given my life to Christ. I got saved like many years ago.
Okay.
But you know, so many things transpired. We ended up leaving the church, and I haven't gone back since. But the thing of it is just like you said, you know, because of what you see, you know what I mean? But they don't want to keep it real and transparent. Don't try to act like you're holier than thou, this and this and that, and you know that that's not the case.
Exactly.
You know, be who it is. You know, I don't think that. I don't even really like calling pastor such and such. I want to call you by your first name because you call me by mine.
You gotta respect the office.
Right.
Yeah, you got to respect the
office.
seat of the man being
Yeah.
the pastor. And I don't,
I mean,
you know
I
what?
mean,
It's different because
why
I
do I have to
don't
do
do
that?
it if I go to his house.
Well,
But if I'm in church, I definitely do it. Or if, like
I don't wanna
Shelly, and when I'm in church, I call her First Lady.
But that is not her name.
Well, here's the thing. Now I struggle with first lady stuff only because that's not a position of authority, nor it's nothing. It's just a title.
That's not biblical.
At the church
Well,
gate.
we
No,
know
it's
it's
definitely not
a lot of things that are not
Not
biblical. So that's not what I won't jump behind it because it's not biblical. But I don't. Sometimes it can get messed up where people think there's authority
Exactly.
because
okay.
you say
That's
first
what
lady.
they act
You
like.
know, the first ladies that have authorities are governors' wives and presidents' wives and mayors' wives. But
I'm the man's wife.
I'm the man's wife. Miss Millie, I've always been good to you people.
Yes.
But
I don't know her.
I don't know her either. So here's my thing. I recently went to a seminar. We're on so many subjects. I love it. And we were talking about how to craft a sermon. It was for ministers. Anyway, one of the things in the seminar was talking about the minister, the preacher, and the black community, and that the minister is an emergence. And an emergence, there's someone that is specifically set apart from the group, but they are made up of the group. So it will be like all of us. We're all made up from the same thing. We have a lot of shared things, but this particular person has been set apart to come out to keep their ear to the group and also keep their ear to God, so they can hear from God. So they're set apart, but that also means that they have a higher level of accountability, and that there are more things they may be responsible for. It doesn't mean that they're your high priest, and that you can't get a prayer through. That's right. You know, but they are a designated voice, if you will. And so with that, I think comes some level of authority, but it also comes some level of reverence. However, in the black church, please be clear that the black minister is not the fourth part of the Trinity. That's right. There's only 3 parts of the Trinity.
That's so funny. I had a lunch today with one of the ladies that go to my church. She's an older lady, and one of the purpose for me going, because she haven't been coming to church, and she haven't been coming to church because of she felt she's being left out, or her generation is being left out. So, you know, I went to talk to her, and one of my biggest things that I was telling her is that you still come, right? Because your voice is still heard in your presence, right? Right. I say, but when you don't come, you make people feel like they won, right? Right. So, but I definitely agree with that, because one of the things I don't like in church is brother sister, right? And this bothered me so bad that I had to go look it up. That I had to go look it up to see, why are they calling me Brother Nate? Is that real? Is that a part of it? But it was just black church radio.
But I'm like, right.
Brothers and sisters in
Christ.
Christ.
But I'm like Nate when they call me Sister Paula. Don't call me that.
Yeah, I be like, no, just
Nate. It made
me
feel too old. Just call me Paula B. I'm cool with that.
Paula B?
Yeah, you don't have to call me Sister nothing. Just call me Paula B. That's
brothers
why.
and sisters in Christ.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Y'all remember that show back in the day, South Central? Y'all remember South Central?
Yeah.
And I saw a clip on Facebook, and she was in the grocery store, and this guy was like, sister, whatever her name was. She said, I grew up, and I don't ever remember seeing your face across from me at the dinner table. Please stop calling me sister, because I am not your sister. So that just reminded me of that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's go. Mark of the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Mark of the Beast.
That chip.
Okay, so this is coming. Okay, so this is an excerpt from the United Church of God booklet called The Book of Revelation Unveiled. It says the second beast of Revelation 13 will cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So there's a company in Wisconsin, a technology company that's gearing up to become the first U.S. company to offer microchip implants to its employees. More than 50 workers have already signed up for it, and they can make in-house purchases, open doors, and unlock office equipment with it. They said the tiny chip that uses radio frequencies, which is called RFID, which will allow them to do a wide variety of tasks instantaneously. And the company that invented it says that it expects that within a couple of decades for this to be just regular, the regular method.
Not for me. Because
Paul, you getting that chip?
You gonna make me cuss on
So
this.
it says the microchip inside the user's hand would function as his or her credit card. Each chip costs about $300 and is being supplied by the company. Number one, would you do it? And do you think this has anything to do with the end of times prophecy?
I will not do that.
It does.
I don't care anything about anybody's prophecy. You understand what I'm saying? If I want to open up the door, I'm going to do that
with your hands. Okay.
To me, they're just going like way overboard with all this technology, where it's just making you so lazy where you don't have to do anything. Pretty soon, people are just going to want to. You're not going to even have to go outside. I think that is ridiculous. But the thing of it is that the more people buy into it and all the hype, more people are going to do it. But the thing of it is that that's something that I'm not going to let anybody stick anything in me
at any time
It's almost
unless
like
it's for
the
pleasure.
size of a
Now,
rice.
back in the day, didn't they used to say that your social security card was the mark of the beast?
That's hilarious.
I mean, and then
Because they used to say
I'm not putting no non-date.
exactly. It was almost like
Taking always
it's
tracking.
your
That's
social
right.
security number. You couldn't do nothing without it. You can't
You
buy
still
nothing
can't.
without it.
You still
So
can't.
people used to say that's the mark of the beast. But
You're
you
right.
got
There's
one.
always something.
There's
that people,
always a
what
mark
do you
of the
think?
beast.
I want to hear what you say.
Okay, well, this is what I believe.
Uh-huh.
I believe in the prophecies. I'll start there.
Okay.
I believe in the prophecies, and I believe that we are living in times that we can parallel to say they're the end of times.
Exactly.
But if we were in 1925,
Mhm.
if we were in 1872,
Exactly.
if we were in 1987,
Mhm.
there's so many times. 1999,
Yes.
that we all thought that was gonna be the end. It's the mark. Y2K.
That's right.
You know. So
He coming.
right, he coming. He's coming in the yellow Honda. And so I said it to believe. I believe in the prophecy, but do I believe that? I'm not sure if I believe we are at the end of times.
Okay.
I don't think that we understand the Kairos, and that's God's timing. You know, we want to put it in this Chronos and how we can say when that is coming.
Exactly.
So it looks a lot like it, of
Exactly.
course. But the difference, if we can use our spiritual imaginations, do you think we will be able
To figure it out. Yeah.
when it will come? You know, and then because we have technology that's so vast, you know, who hasn't pimped that and said, let me get this, I'm gonna freak people out. But people are so,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
That's like that Y2. What is that
Y2K.
That Y2K.
That's
Right.
what
Everybody
it
was
is.
Buying
everybody
food.
was
Right.
going crazy.
You know, getting
Taking their
bunkers,
money out the
taking
bank.
money at the
Right.
bank.
You
And
know-
what happened that day? They had the man on TV. All these people being
Predicting
praying
the end
praying
and-
predicting the end. That was a whole bunch of them.
And if you all remember, like during what
Right.
time was it, in the 50s or the 40s, when people were building underground bunkers
Oh, yeah.
and all that stuff? But so that's how I feel as far as it relating to the word. And if, like we keep talking about being saved, if you are saved, you already know where you stand on that issue.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it, but more specifically, you won't even be here. If you are saved and that time comes, you won't be here anyway.
Exactly.
Right, I think they're just fanatics.
Yeah,
like that.
right.
What
Well,
is that
I'm
guy
not doing
that
anything
Jim-
that I chip my dog with, and my dog has a chip. So that just in case he get lost, and he could come. When you pay good money for a dog, if he get running out, you want somebody to give it back. And I paid I got a little microchip for my dog that has his address and everything in it. So if he ever gets
So
lost,
you would get one for the dog, but not one for yourself.
because I want him to come back. I wouldn't need for me. I don't need to pay nothing with this.
I don't
I don't
think.
nobody taking my arm.
I don't see a problem with the dog.
Yeah.
I didn't say whether I would do it. I wouldn't do it because call me Mel Gibson's character in Conspiracy Theory. I'm not doing any. Big Brother is real.
Exactly.
How often have you looked on Google search or something that came in your whatever, and then the next thing you know, you got ads in your
That's
email
right, that's right.
or ads
Yes.
showing up
Yeah.
on Instagram
Yeah, they
or something that you Google search
Exact. Or that you just
Right.
was looking
or you were
at.
just talking about.
Yes.
We were just talking about shoes one day, and I lied to you not. Those Air Max were in my in an ad on like my
your
Facebook page.
Exactly. I
I
see
said,
that.
oh,
That's scary.
they
Yeah.
listening.
And Facebook, I believe next year is going to start using their camera to spy.
Right.
They're saying to collect advertising information.
But everybody has the option of not having Facebook. You have the option not to use technology if you don't want to.
But
Correct.
You're
Some
going to go back
things
that
make
far?
it almost
Yeah, but you
impossible not
can't
to
be-
use technology.
yeah.
But the point,
You know, your
but to
banking,
Paula's
everything.
point, to Paula's point is you have the option to not be under Big Brother's thumb, and that way a chip does not allow that option.
Exactly.
If I put that chip in me, it don't matter who I unplug from and who I'm not
Right.
a friend of. You can say what you want to. You can say that, well, right now it's just to make convenient pay, you know, and all this stuff. But everything started off as, oh, we'll just do it this,
Exactly.
and then it
That's right.
expanded to something else.
Like,
But
without
so-
you knowing.
But the thing of it is that this freaks me out. And that this is one man or a group of people that have sat down collectively at a table and just said, "Wow, let's do this."
Right.
Then everybody gets so hyped,
like
and then
monkeys
they
in the
then they
industry.
get all like what she's saying, all involved. You know, it's Big Brothers.
This company, yeah.
There's a few men that's sitting down doing this
Exactly.
and that have creative minds enough. If I would have created it, and I know I was getting all those coins, I wish I would have created it.
Yeah.
But it's
But
nothing
if you
new.
look at it
Yeah,
that
it's
right,
definitely
if you
nothing
look
new.
at it that way, that's
Yeah.
just like that guy I want to talk about. What is that guy? Jim. What's his name? The one that had,
Jones.
yeah, Jim Jones. Look what he did. He had all those people's minds so messed up, and that's why I don't get that deep into everything that everybody's saying, because look what he did. He had everybody's minds so messed up that he had them drinking that stuff, and they all died, and still what happened? Nothing. You killed yourself because of what one man said. Everybody gets all hyped because what one man said. You don't have to do that.
I just say stay woke. I'm telling people just pay attention to your surroundings all the time. Pay attention to people doing it.
Well, I know I couldn't do it because I wouldn't want to go to the store and then every time he ain't got no money. Because they done chipped me at the door.
Right. That is crazy.
So ain't nobody helping.
Ain't nobody walking.
A little red infrared light come on when you walk in. Like, get out. You already know. When you browse in this store.
Look, like what Will did online today on his Facebook. When you put that thing, like, the lady got online and she had $300 for groceries. I
cute.
did what I normally do. I helped her put each one of them back.
My cousin had that on his.
Before I finished reading it, I said, he more saved
I
than
know. I was like, dang, he did
honey, let me tell you, when I saw it, I already knew. I said, what did he do? He must have helped her put it back or stole it. Stole it for either one of them.
Finish reading. I said, I know some shenanigans.
Right.
Well, thank you.
Go ahead. Yes.
Nathan, you did a little research study. You have some information on that?
It was really good. I saw this posting about men that will allow their wives to tell them you don't have to work anymore, because women are becoming more self-sufficient. They're becoming more. They're making more money in the world today, and so they were saying, as a man, would you allow your wife to tell you that you don't have to work anymore? You just stay home and take care of the kids, and I got you. First of all, I'm gonna ask you guys as women, and then I'm gonna tell you some of the things that men said. As women, would you ask your husband to stop working?
Oh, ask my husband. I was like, because I'm dealing with that now. But now you want me to go get a job. So would I allow my husband?
Yes. Not allow him. Would you ask him to?
Would I ask him? Would I ask him? Because I was holding it down financially.
Yes, because you got the money.
Well, here's the thing. Call me progressive. Call me open. Call me whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late. I'm just playing. But who has the majority of the money and who can support the household should have never gone synonymous with who can dictate the household. So if my husband had a desire to not work, then I would say, if I could take care of it all, then I would say, all right, man, then you step up. But if I have a husband who that is not his strong point, to rear our children, I shouldn't say anybody, because I'm not the best, but anybody can clean a house, keep a house, even hire somebody to keep a house. My biggest thing about you staying home is, can you rear our children? Can you do the part? Because I would be doing that, working or not working. Rearing them, getting them to where they can go. If you feel you can do that, then why not? I don't care who makes the most money.
Yeah. And before Paula answers, I want to just read Coach Ellis. He gave a really good one, and he said it depends on the heart of the request. It only works if she is providing seed for my purpose, dream that has been delayed as I am trying to provide for my family, for her to reward my diligence with the help to pursue what was beyond my ability
Coach, you need to make that
achieve.
shorter. That's too much.
It's fine. I like that. So
why did you like that?
Because what he's saying, that if she see him working hard towards a purpose, and she could say, well, boo, won't you do that? I got this.
Okay.
Then he's like, okay, I would do it in that essence. But if she's doing it to make him feel, well, I'm the man, you the wife.
Right.
Then Coach say, I'm going to get me a job at McDonald's to show her.
Probably like maybe Oprah and Stedman. Like when he wants to do certain things and he doesn't necessarily have the backing.
Does Stedman have a job? Does he
well, he's worth 20. I think he's worth like 20-some million.
Yeah, he
like Les Brown.
Something or something, right?
Y'all remember
with
Gladys
Gladys? With Gladys.
She Gladys and Les. I just know y'all, man. I'm sorry.
Would you let your husband sit home, Paula? And you take care of him?
The only problem I have with that is I mean, I would, because I'm really flexible. I'm really flexible. If that's something that you want to do, and if I can hold it down for you, I'm going to let you know I'm your ride or die. I'm going to do that. But sometimes it could get a little tricky, because once I've done that for you, and you got your gold, and you've done what you wanted to do, your desires. Sometimes people have a tendency to get brand new and forget what you have done for them.
Speak, preacher.
Okay?
That's true.
And then once you get what it is that you had, and I held it down for you, I don't care if I make 6 figures, 4 figures, 3 figures, then you get brand new, get yourself all cleaned up, then you want to go get to Becky with the good hair. So, or, you know, right. You know, and that has happened, you know, and that happens more times than not.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the sincerity of the man, and do you have an underlying agenda?
What DeMarcus Taylor said, I personally experienced this before. It was an epic fail. I ended up in divorce, homeless, with 75 cents in my bank account.
Oh, you sound like Tina Turner.
Even though I experienced this with the wrong woman, I would consider it again if I believe it would strengthen my marriage.
Well, I don't mind. I mean, but like you said, with the children, no, I think I want to, because we have the nurturing thing. They don't. My husband really don't have the nurturing bone that I have. But I still let him be the head of the household regardless. He still can do his man thing and be the head of the household, even though I made the most money. And he gotta have that type of man. Every man really don't want to sit home. My husband, even I always say, if I win the lottery, would you stay home? He was like, for what? You know, I was playing lottery.
Well, my husband already told me the same thing. He said
he just not that type. But I still wouldn't take that.
He wants to retire early.
I wouldn't take.
And so I wouldn't do it just for spite. I'm that kind of woman. Pray for me. And I'm like, you want to sit home? But
you turn it down, John. No, I want that.
I want that.
I wouldn't take that from him. I think that's where women get it. You know, they think, you know, no money, no say, more money, more say.
Right.
So I wouldn't take that from him. I
don't like it if anyone thinks like that.
Well, there's a lot of people that men think that way. You know, I make the money, I make the most money, so you need to do what it is that I say, because you know, I want to piggyback on what Capri said, because I am the head of the household. I think that head of the household thing, and I am the head, puts a lot of people on the struggle bus, because really, to me, it's a control mechanism.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, and
depends on the man.
That's why if it's done wrong, it's a control mechanism.
No, it's a definitely control mechanism, especially when every 5 minutes you go into the Bible genuine. And it says right here.
That's when somebody don't have the understanding of it.
You see what I mean? Yeah. And the thing of it is, it's a form of controlling your wife.
Well, being a provider yourself, would you stay at home and let someone take care of you?
I've even thought about this next thing. I've dreamt about like dating somebody that's like really wealthy and being taken care of. And in reality, I couldn't do it.
I could do that.
I would
go do some volunteer work, but yeah, I can do that.
I can do it.
Yeah.
We would have to either be equal, or I would have to be the provider.
Yeah,
it's just in my nature to want to provide.
Sitting home, I'm just not that sitting home person. I mean, I just
home though.
I did it for a year. It's just driving me crazy.
Yeah, because I asked you said if you didn't have to work, you would volunteer.
Yeah, I would volunteer. I couldn't.
And volunteer everybody else.
Yes,
you have a habit of doing that.
I do.
You do volunteer.
Yes.
Yes,
I probably could only sit home for a week, if that times.
I mean, most people, when they used to say, okay, well, you know, I want a husband that can take care of me and do everything, and I don't have to do anything. I mean, you say that until you put in that position. I mean, because my husband said, oh, you don't have to work. Okay, fine, I'll stay at home, do my business, whatever. And after about 6 months, it was terrible. I mean, I still don't pay any bills, even though I work now, but I had to get back in that workforce because that's me.
That
that's me. I can't just. I said, I'm tired of being a rich white woman. I gotta go back to work.
Exactly. My girlfriend, her and her husband,
I needed to go back to work.
They had money, and he told her the same thing. You don't have to work. Just stay at home. Take care of the kids. And she did it for a while, but she demanded so much from him that then she wanted him to be at the house with her. And to the point that he was like, yeah, it's about time you get you a job.
I think my issue was an empty nester because my last daughter went to college, and it's like, okay, I have no reason to be home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kept thinking, okay, well, I have no reason to be home, so why am I home?
You know, for me, I think I was born this way. I have never, and I hate to say it because I believe we speak life and death, but I have never been comfortable to commit to any type of job, like a structured job. I've always had a problem. I'm not lazy. It's not that I don't believe in working. I think I got this from my daddy. I'm not gonna call myself an entrepreneur, but I was gonna say that. The flexibility of doing whatever it is I need to do, whether it's making money, volunteering, on my own schedule. Doesn't mean I don't want to be on time. I want to be tardy. I've always, like, it could be the best job in the world. When I was Face of Fox, I was like, oh, I gotta work this time, that time. It didn't even matter if that day all I had to do was go to a concert. You know. So when my husband said to me, you know, or maybe I said to him, I couldn't remember, that when I got married, I did not want to feel that I had to go to work. You know, and he was like, that's cool with me, you know. You do stuff the right way and they're cool with everything. But anyway, and then when it becomes less frequent. So then they would go to work. It was like, you told me about. So I digress. So I feel like staying at home for me, I hate it like that's the only way to describe it. I would prefer, ideal for me when I am married, for my husband to be the one responsible for the bills.
Yes.
That's right.
You know, and for sustaining our sustaining our foundation.
Okay.
I would like to contribute to our savings, our college, fund for our children, for our retirement. He can do that as well, but I want to supplement in some areas and I want to carry in other areas.
Exactly.
But me not work. I want to be able to work something where I
Who
can
does
help with
groceries
that.
and food?
I have to do groceries and food.
So that's a good question, Will. Can I ask this question? So, ladies, do you feel when you're married, should it be 50-50, or are there things that you feel your husband should provide?
Okay, let me just, well, I because I give, you know, my husband money, you know, towards the bills and everything like that, but I've always done that. You know what I mean? Back in the day when my mom and my dad were married, my mom didn't have to pay anything because my mom, she didn't work. Then she started working, and then her money was her own. I think the only thing my mom paid was the phone bill because my dad says she's always on the phone. So the thing of it is that, again, I base that on when a woman is not contributing, she becomes controlled by her husband because the first thing he's going to say, which I have witnessed, I pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? I pay for the bills here, so you need to do this, and this. When I get home, my meals need to be on the table because I take care of you and I pay for everything. But I'm just saying, it still happens today. But society has changed so much where women are helping you out. So that's why when it comes to I'm the head. No, really, you're not, because I'm helping you. You're not really taking care of me. You're not really taking care of me 100. You're not taking care of me 100 because I'm helping you take care of me. You're the helpmate. You're the helpmate.
Well, you know what? He said you're the helpmate.
You're the helpmate.
So here's the thing. So in Genesis, where it says the part
go to the New Testament.
I'm connected. Genesis, the 2nd chapter, I think around the 18th to the 22nd verse.
Preach.
It talks about, you know, that out of man, woman was made, and that, you know, he wasn't complete until she came. And that when they used the word for woman and that she would help him, that she would help, is the same word that is used in the New Testament for Holy Spirit, comforter. That woman will be the comforter. And so we know the story of the Holy Spirit that Jesus said, when I go, but I will not leave you without a comforter. You will always have someone that can guide you, tell you what you need to do, how you need to do it, and it will be peaceful about it.
Oh, that's why y'all so bossy.
That's why we so bossy.
Okay, there it is.
But you know, the Holy Spirit is a gentleman, so we're not really. Back off me. So I'm saying that to say that I think somewhere when the head of household term came up in the IRS, I think that somehow we transferred that to the word headship.
That's right.
Headship in the Bible says that a husband is the head of the wife the way Christ is the head of the church. And if we follow Jesus Christ's ministry, he never abhorred himself over anything or anyone.
He give you free will.
You know, he gave us free will, but he took care of the people of God. And so your husband, the word husband is a planting term. It's
Yeah,
like
she be
husbandry.
taking notes. Give Paula some paper.
Yeah, and you're right. That's right.
So see, but I have to interject.
She holding my hand because y'all can't see it. Making me feel good about her chest.
When they say, like when they say, I don't mean no harm.
Yeah. I'm prepared, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul like nobody over her.
Yeah. The thing of it is, bottom line, case closed to me, is that women are still viewed as second-class citizens, as far as I'm concerned. Because, let me tell you one thing I don't like, and I still hear that my dad used to say to my mother, that just makes my skin crawl. Like, she would say something, and he would be like, well, who do you think you're talking to? Who are you talking to like that? I can't really say what I really want to say, but the thing of it is, who are you to tell me or to say to her or to any woman, who are you, what'd you say? Like, you're intimidating me because you're a man, and I can't say that.
But that's different.
No, that is not different. That is not different.
I think when your mind changes, Paula, it like
You know
said,
That's that old.
so,
That's like the Old Testament. But that's what men back then.
I promise you, I'm not on both sides of the issues.
sorry, Paul.
This is what I believe. What I said about headship, I completely believe it. But here is the problem. The problem is that, unfortunately, I can't speak for white folk because I ain't been white ever. But in our community, more men, it is not a 1950 issue. More men have this same embedded archaic. He can be the most progressive man in any other area and say, I believe in this, I do that. But you do find you'll get married, and it don't matter if he make $1 less than you, $1 more than you. He don't even care. It helps him if he makes more money. But even if he doesn't, there are a lot of men who will be like, I'm the man. Who you talking to? I'm supposed to do this. There are, and I'm saying this not from Paula's experience, not from any research I've done. That was the marriage I married into. I didn't even realize my husband. I knew he was old-fashioned, but not that kind of old-fashioned. Because I was like, oh, I like that he old-fashioned. But I didn't realize that I married the Black Archie Bunker. You know? And so, and this man, he could be on other times, people could describe him as being spiritually mature and understanding the Word of God and understanding headship and all these things. But comes from a standpoint, like you're saying, you know, I'm man, beat my chest, and, you know, what I say goes. So.
But these are the same men that I'm the head and, you know, so spiritually.
He is the head. Go ahead.
Okay. But you're still the one that's giving your wife the horizontal screw. You're still the one that's going out there doing things.
What's
being
the horizontal screw?
Well, never mind. I don't think I need to say that.
Okay, all right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you want to transition from all this into the Usher story.
Yes, because I'm getting all excited.
Well,
I know. It's okay. I love you though.
As we were talking off air about the Usher story, everybody talking about the Usher and his issues. It's like, should he just own it and instead of having all these women come out the
I think all the
closet
money he's paying is showing him his ownership.
and that's what I was telling Paul earlier. She was like, no, he still needs to own it.
Soon he gonna be
Does
like
he really
FEMA.
have to say it?
He gonna have to set up tent.
Everybody need relief. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
Yeah.
No, that was a good one.
So now this woman is coming out and saying that she wants $20 million because she's mentally screwed up.
This is a separate woman, though.
This is a separate woman that she's mentally screwed up for the idea that she can have it.
That she could have it.
Because she slept with him. But now she just went back to the doctor and got her test.
And she
it.
is.
So now she wants $40 million.
Yeah.
What I really have something to say about this, and you all spoke offline and I wasn't here, so
we did.
I'm going to say this. Okay, so first the thing, and if she can find me, she can sue me because all I have is 75 cents.
First of all, how many Negroes you done slept with? You might as well call everybody.
So this is what I want to say to her. I don't care if she slept with everybody or Usher was the first one. She's not 12, she's not 13, she's not 14. You had unprotected sex with him, okay? And let's understand herpes. First of all, I believe. Don't quote me because I don't have herpes, but I believe you can only get it during the outbreak time.
Yeah.
Okay, and you increase the risk of during that outbreak if you have unprotected sex. Now, I could use my spiritual, well, not spiritual, I can use my other imagination as to where it was unprotected. But the point that I'm making is, you want to sue somebody for $40 million, $20 million because you also were irresponsible.
Exactly.
I'm not taking Usher off the table for not saying,
Exactly.
hey, boo, before I do what I gotta do, I got a little hurt. You know, I'm not saying that Usher shouldn't have said that.
I just may make it burn.
Because it was
Right. You heard my song on Confessions too.
But I think you think she would still have done it because he's Usher.
Yes, she would have.
Yes, she would
She
have.
would have.
a chance.
She would have done it. And then the story about the first girl, now, I don't know how true this is.
Mm-hmm.
When it first came out, she said she saw a mysterious color liquid coming from
green.
this person, green, and said, "Whoa, what's that?" I'm like, "That's nothing." I'm like, "Oh, baby, that's so cute."
On your way out.
On my way out. Yeah.
But
I don't
the thing
care what
about
he
it
tells
is,
me.
that's
Green is not a color that comes from your body unless it's mucus. Now I'm even more grossed out that you got mucus coming where somewhere else. Come on now.
But the thing
People
about
are
it,
suing for their own ignorance.
and it was a
Exactly.
disclosure. The first lady was paid $1.1 million
That's why the
already
second lady came
to
out.
keep herself to keep it closed. So now, when her money ran out,
Yep.
See, that's why.
they
That's
ran
why I
out.
have.
so the
That's why I have the
disclosure,
issue.
disclosure things is
Right.
useless.
That's why I have the issue.
Well, what
The same thing
statistics
with-
you got?
with Bill Cosby. I just.
Well, no, it was just saying that she was saying that they had hooked up and they just did. The first time they did heavy petting, kissing, and oral sex. And then she said,
Which is what she
heavy
got it from.
petting.
Don't nobody put no.
and then she said
condom
they
on for oral sex.
eventually had intercourse, but Usher wore a condom. However, 12 days later, they hooked up again in New Orleans, and he did not wear a condom.
Now, mind you, this is April 16th. He's already married.
Right.
So you're
Also,
cheating
white-
on top of that.
Okay.
See what I was saying earlier. That's
So,
what
and that's
that's what I was saying earlier. But the thing of it is,
So she led herself into temptation.
right, and the
But
thing,
now she wants us to deliver her for
but
you.
right, but then point. But why put all your business out in the street like that in Usher? You understand what I'm saying? Because the thing of it is, he has children, and you did what you did. You're a responsible adult.
Right.
If you want to get some coins from him, just go get the money and just like put the disclosure thing. But now everybody's coming out. That's why I have our
And his
problem.
wife said,
Now-
"Oh, wait a minute, now.
But
This
she
is
said she
before
good,
me.
and her
I'm
stepdaughter.
good."
She said she good.
She said she good.
She got it.
Tamika
No.
said she good. She ain't got
Tamika said
nothing.
she
Yeah, his ex-wife. She went on and said, "Wait a minute.
That's right. Hold on.
You know, there's a lot of stuff with Usher and me, but that ain't one of them. We share a lot, but the herp ain't it."
But how do you think he feels about that?
I think
You
he
know,
feels
embarrassed.
embarrassed. I think, but it should be sobering. You know what? I'm tired of people wanting to have pity and want other people to pay for your callousness and your carelessness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to be out there and have fun, bedroom fun, we'll call it, with everybody and their mama, do it, but do it responsibly.
Exactly.
Whatever happened to being responsible? And you know you have herpes. Usher know because this is what I've read. Because everybody talking about it, we had to read about it. Your first outbreak is like death. It's the worst.
Oh, really?
After that is never as bad as the first outbreak.
Wow.
So you know he knew he had it because he had
Yeah,
to
he
have
knew
it
he
in
had
his first outbreak.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, he knew he had it.
So he knew.
He ain't gonna.
So why would you ever, whether you decided to ever tell anyone you had it, why would you ever willingly have unprotected sex
Right.
with
During
someone
that time.
when you knew that you had it?
There you go. Whoever this person is coming.
Wow.
You're right.
Well, this is actually
Good
our-
conversation, y'all.
Yes, we're gonna come back to some other talk later.
But then
but
it's
We are
a
so
we
hyped.
have our guest. She is someone who I carefully chose for this final show for the season. Dr. Virginia Leblanc. She is a highly sought after multidisciplinary expert and scholar. She has a new book out, and her new book, Love the Skin You're In, How to Conquer Life Through Divergent Thinking. She is written to encourage and empower all those seeking their place, trying to connect the dots and fulfill their purpose in life. So please help me welcome to the show Miss Dr. Virginia LeBlanc. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Yo. How are you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored this evening. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
This guy, I know I was bothering you. Is that your manager, your publicist? I was just like, is she going to be there? Is she going to be there? Yes, I was excited to have you on the show.
Absolutely. I would not have missed it for the world.
Yes. You're coming in a little bit low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you. We got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
So I just gave everybody a little peek of who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, a little bit. Okay, let me try to sum this up. I'm originally from the great state of Texas.
Okay.
And from the southeast coast area known as Victoria, Texas. And I did my undergraduate work. I started off at Baylor University, ended up finishing up at what was then Southwest Texas State University in San Marcos. Mm-hmm. And then I ventured off to Indiana University for graduate school. And I pursued a degree in music performance, vocal performance, education, parade in different areas. And during my time there, I actually encountered several of my mentors who kind of put me on the path. At the time, the headquarters of the National Panhellenic Council was headquartered there. And the then executive director was also a professor of music education there, which was my educational background. So that's how I ended up working at the headquarters as an assistant, quickly advanced when he retired, became the executive director, and stayed around there for a while, decided to start my doctorate, and life held me there a little longer. I ended up becoming the director of a highly sought-after scholarship program for underrepresented students and high-achieving students there at the University, the Hudson and Holland Scholars Program. Helped to develop that, take that to another level, and then felt a calling onto entrepreneurial pursuits. Wow. And moved out to the East Coast, to Washington, D.C. So that's where I am now. Okay. I have, as you can tell, been in a lot of different industries and a lot of different adventures, and kind of given rise to my book. So.
And you're a member of Delta Sigma Theta, right?
I am a Diamond Life member of the devastating Deltas.
Yes.
I absolutely am, yes.
All right.
Very proud.
Well, hello, Dr. LeBlanc. This is Caprice. How are you?
Hi, Caprice. I'm well, thanks.
I see your book is Love the Skin You're In. Can you give us a quick synopsis about it?
Absolutely. Basically, I've couched this book. I call it my autobiographical love letter to society. About the loss, suppression, and rediscovery of individuality, as well as the ability to redefine yourself. So I basically track watershed moments in my life from childhood to the present, in which these moments help to shape kind of the thought, my thinking, my ability to rediscover who I was and appreciate myself. You know, I talk in the book about adjusting your crown, and you see that in my logo. And it's about getting your mind right, getting your thinking right, and it's commentary on the social conditioning of life that we fall into without even knowing that we're falling into it, being cognizant of it, and how that tends to affect us, and honestly derail our paths sometimes until we become aware of it and really start to seek our purpose by connecting the dots in life and finding our purpose and understanding who we are. And our self-worth. So that's the basic synopsis.
Is this book, because I was reading it in, I guess it was this description that you had, that it's primarily geared towards women? Why is that? I don't understand.
No, it's not primarily geared toward women. I think I did an interview earlier this year after the Women's March. Okay. And I think people kind of latched onto it in that respect. But no, the book is for the masses. Okay. You know, and I talk about this in my preface. You know, for anyone who is reading this book, I mean, you will find, you know, at that point in time, wherever you're reading, something to latch on to that you can identify with in your life. So it's not just for women, but, you know, of course, me coming from a woman's perspective, there are messages, very clear and direct messages about women and womanhood and the things that we face. Also, you know, being African-American female, you know, there are things I do talk about race, but it's not solely geared toward male, female, you know, black, white, what have you. It's for the masses. It's meant for the masses, and it's meant to bring people together and to heal them internally. I talk about learning to love from the inside out also in the book. So that applies to everyone.
That's wonderful. All right.
Dr. LeBlanc, this is Nate. How are you doing?
Hi, Nate. I'm well, and yourself?
I'm really good. So, quick question. What led you to this specialty of empowerment and life transformation strategies? Like, what is your passion? Where does your passion come from?
You know, it was something I discovered as I just started moving through life. And you know, in the book, I talk a lot about connecting the dots. And it wasn't even a conscious thing that happened in my life. I just started kind of putting it together. I found myself, for instance, I mentioned that I ended up becoming the director of the Hudson and Holland Scholars Program at Indiana University. Well, prior to that, and working with the National Panhellenic Council, I started to discover a theme in which I was placed in situations and positions in which I was rebuilding organizations, and I was putting, processes in place. I was developing programs to help develop other people and to empower people along their path. And then, when I decided to leave the university and pursue my own businesses, that's what they were geared toward, educational consulting and career empowerment and what have you. And so a light bulb went off, honestly, when I came to the D.C. area, and I started thinking about this, because as you move through life, we're always, it's a thought in everyone's head at some point in time, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And oftentimes we never move past that thought. But as I started thinking about it more and more, that light bulb went off, and I realized, okay, all of this falls, and I've been helping people to improve their life. I've been placed in positions and situations of influence, and the reason people are placed in those positions in life is not for themselves, it's for the empowerment and betterment of others.
I agree.
So that's when the light bulb went off.
Awesome. Good evening, Dr. LeBlanc. I see that you are well, so we have asked you several times. I am Rhonda Arrington, and it's a pleasure, seriously, an honor to speak with you. And so one of the things that seems to be a central concept in your book is divergent thinking. And I would like for you to just express a little to our our listeners, to what divergent thinking is, because I'm thinking that divergent, I'm thinking about developing something that's continuously being different. So what does divergent thinking mean?
So divergent thinking, and let me give you a little background as to how I started putting this together as well. When people would look at my resume, one of the first questions they would ask me, what do you do? Right. Because it's so diverse, and people are not used to seeing that. And honestly, at first it used to offend me, because I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm doing something wrong, or I'm not focused, or it's something wrong with me. And then I realized after I adjusted my crown that there was nothing wrong with me. All of these experiences were put into place and put in my life for a purpose. Right. And I started piecing together divergent thinking. And it's funny, and you guys are going to laugh at me, because the light bulb went off on this one because of Veronica Roth's Divergent series.
Oh. I was thinking of that. I was thinking about that series.
That's exactly when it went off. Because what I realized is, so divergent thinking, let me backtrack a little bit. So basically for me, divergent thinking, the way I've been able to move from this field to that field and be successful is as a result of transferable skills. And we don't talk about transferable skills enough. The educational system, and, I'm a proponent of it, so I'm not knocking it, but we tend to get locked into, I'm this major, I'm that major, this is what I'm studying, I'm left brain, I'm right brain. And I refuse to be locked in a box. So I talk about in the book, I'm not in the box, I'm not out of the box. I suggest blow the box up. Come on, now. Why even have a box? Exactly. So divergent thinking is about developing both halves of your brain so that you can have a 360-degree total recall at will. Whatever situation you're in, you can figure it out. Whether you go over, under, through it, whatever, blow it up, you can figure out how to problem solve, how to infer, have deductive reasoning, etc., to solve any problem and to not be stumped when you come to an obstacle in the road. Exactly. So it's a whole fight or flight concept, honestly. and you're always in a fight position and mode.
And that's
Does that
really
make
good,
sense?
Dr. LeBlanc, because I think all college students, even high school students, I think everybody should have transferable skills, and not be so stuck on just a major, or graduating college with just a specific major, but having these transferable skills that you mentioned. I think your book should be college read.
Oh,
Well, thank you, and I certainly hope that it heads in that direction. Because honestly, the one of the reasons all of the students who were high achieving underrepresented students in the state of Indiana, the reason they were trying to get into the Hudson and Holland Scholars Program was because we developed a holistic development program. We didn't just throw money at you and say, hey, go swim and, fend for yourself. We put a academic, personal, and professional development model in place that helped these students excel, that helped to round them holistically with requirements that afforded them those opportunities. And those students are just, I tell you, everyone that comes out of there is just something to be, someone to be reckoned with and just excel in life.
Hi, Dr. LeBlanc. How are you?
Hi.
This is Paula.
Blessed.
Thank you. And one of the questions I have for you is, what are your key ingredients to conquering life?
Yes. Help us out, Doc.
Yeah.
And I want to add something to that, Dr. LeBlanc. Not just conquering life, but conquering your purpose in life.
But how do you know? Well, I'm going to add something else. How do you know, which is the $1 million question, what your purpose is, really? Because nobody can figure that out.
And a lot of times we encounter it. Like I gave you the example of how I kept having these experiences.
Right.
They were in different fields, and I did not recognize them for what they were because I was getting caught up in society's perception of what I should have been doing because I was a music major, or what friends were saying or doing because they were out there making it happen. And I had life happen to me, and I had to chart another course and find what else I was passionate about. And that's what, I help the students in that program do. You come up with a plan A, B, and C, but you have to remain flexible. And you have to recognize those watershed moments, those key points in life in which light bulbs go off.
Exactly.
And then you start to figure things out by recalling those things and saying, hey, how does this fit with that? Again, going back to those transferable skills.
Yeah.
And does that fit with that? And if it doesn't, discard that, put that to the side. Don't forget about it because you have to recall that in the situation later in life. But start putting the puzzle together. It's just like life is like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. It's like a boxing ring. You see my cover where I'm in the boxing ring. You see the 3 different pictures of me. One is as a performing artist. One is as a businesswoman. One is as a professor. You just keep redefining yourself. And it's okay to do that until one day you connect the dots.
Exactly.
And the light bulb goes off. And it will be, and I used to not believe this because people would say all the time, oh, you'll know. Or, like when you find that significant other, that husband or wife or what have you, people say, you'll know. I'm still searching for that one, but but they say you will know. And that's how my purpose was. I didn't allow myself to get discouraged. And one thing I always talk about is to never look back, just keep moving forward. There are no mistakes unless you don't learn the lesson and apply it to life. There are only maybe missteps, and you can always correct a misstep. So basically, I started working on some of the key things I talk about in my book. And I don't like to give a 1, 2, 3. Let me just give that disclaimer, because I think 1, 2, 3s are part of the problem. Everybody wants to do the same thing, and everybody is different. And you have to shape your path, your journey, according to you and your purpose. And no one's purpose is the same. You might be in along the same concept or what have you, but even in that, it's going to be different. So, I talk about just tuning into your channel, thinking without that box, blow the box up and connect the dots. And, people always talk about, well, how do you balance? Balance is an aspect of it. Well, I kind of give a concept in the book that is contrary to balance a bit. I talk about managing your reality. There is no such thing as balance when it comes to life. You have to identify your scope of priority. You have to then manage your reality by time, energy, and focus. You give a percentage of time to the most important thing, and less to and then they may flip-flop in life. But it's difficult to say, I'm going to give 50% to this and 50% to that, because you may be giving more time to this when it doesn't require that. So I talk about that, and then I also talk about just, the realization of stepping out of denial. Chapter 8 is love, loss, heartache, and heartbreak. Dealing with the real and not running from it. I had a relationship that, it ended. I was devastated that it ended. But to this day, I thank that man because there was a purpose in my life. It's a reason, a season, a lifetime. He was not a lifetime. He was a reason and a season, and we were both that for each other. And actually, he was the one. Had he not stepped out of my life, this book would not exist.
Milo, I tell you, Dr.
I was next. Thank you. That's an inside joke. But Dr. Leblanc, I wanted to ask your advice on something. So what advice would you give someone? And this is really personal to me. We've had this conversation. So what advice, or what would you tell someone who was down, basically at a crossroads of feeling discontent where they are, not really knowing which way they want to go, and pretty much feeling almost like what's another word other than failure? Other than failure, not an outcast. I'm just at a place. Okay, well, I've done something for so many years. Was very well at it, and then it came to a crossroads where I just felt like I was being led to do something else. Went back to school, finished my undergrad, starting graduate school next month, and I'm just feeling like I'm stuck. And it's to a point where I was telling Paul on the way over here, I feel like it's causing a lot of stress in my body because I have extreme highs and extreme lows. Today I was having extreme lows because I just feel like I'm needlessly wandering, wasting time, not knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. That $1 million question, like, am I following my purpose?
One thing that I do like,
I'm going to ask Dr. LeBlanc.
I know, but I just want to say something that Dr. LeBlanc has already said that it has been so profound with me that it speaks to you too. Is everything that you have is transferable skills.
Yes.
That saved my life today, Dr. LeBlanc.
Okay, well, I would like you to answer my question, Dr. LeBlanc. Because he got all the answers.
I can't.
So what would you say?
So this is honestly a part of the adjust my crown concept.
Okay.
Or adjust your crown. So the mind plays tricks on us. Okay, we know that. So in the book, I talk about captain and crew concept that one of my mentors, Jerry Robert, teaches. So basically, you have to realize you will not be able to move forward or succeed at anything if your thinking is not right.
Okay.
And this is actually another part of the divergent thinking concept as far as when you break it down from this aspect. So if in your conscious mind you are constantly thinking, I will not succeed or I'm stuck, and we all get stuck. So this is no, not a dig at you in any way, shape, or form, or anyone who gets stuck. Because getting stuck, depression, all that stuff is real. And you have to find dig down deep and start to train your mind so that your conscious mind gives your subconscious mind the right messages. Because think about this. So, think of the Navy, for instance, or a boat. Okay, you have the captain, you have the crew. So if the captain is giving the orders, the crew does what the captain says and falls in line. The captain can go to sleep, and the crew is still manning the ship and running the boat.
Right.
If the conscious mind is the captain, the subconscious mind is the crew.
Okay.
If the captain is feeding the crew the wrong coordinates, and you are heading straight for an iceberg, you are going to hit the iceberg.
Exactly.
So if you start this, an exercise that I do, and actually I was working with my goddaughter recently on this. So if you start training your mind just right, there's studies that say 90 days. If for 90 days, every day, you repeat positive affirmations to yourself.
Okay.
For 90 days, you can undo a habit. If you do anything, if you want to undo anything, find the opposite thing, the positive thing. Do it for 90 days straight, and you can break the habit. So, for instance, she's a young lady. She's going into her senior year of high school. Phenomenal woman, well-rounded. Give Savannah Johnson a shout-out in Chicago.
All right, Savannah. Hey, girl.
And she's phenomenal. She has a 4.8 GPA.
Wow.
She's an awesome basketball player. Just showed out here in D.C. in the U.S. Junior Nationals. And, she's a singer. But she's having performance anxiety.
Okay.
And it's something I can identify with. And it's something that it sounds like you may be having for one reason or another. And that gets in the place of us exhaling and just saying, okay, I am beautiful. I am strong. I am
good enough.
I will get this. Exactly. I am good enough. Because society is always in the background conditioning us to think otherwise, whether we're men, women, boy, girl. There's always a message that society has given in which we don't measure up. No one can be 100% perfect, even those who think they are.
Right.
No one is 100% perfect. So what I would recommend you do is just keep moving forward. When you catch yourself, give your friends permission to, to ding you. Maybe give them $1. Every time you say something negative about yourself.
Okay, can I interject right here? He has given me permission to do that. But when I do it, he rebukes
what I delivery.
No, it's not delivery. He does not adhere to what I say. Because
she has credentials. Let me hear her credentials. She has credentials.
I just wanted to interject. I mean, I got credentials too, but go ahead.
I was about to say that's valuable information.
Yes, she needed to know that.
And that speaks to the whole just denial.
Okay.
And denial is not a bad word. It's real. It's reality because we all go through it, and most of us don't even know when we're in denial. Right. That's just a part of life. But if we're going to give people permission to be our accountability partner, then we have to honor that relationship and understand where they're coming from. Exactly. If you trust them enough to do that, if they tell you something, you really need to take it to heart. But it's fear. It's fear that won't allow you to do it. And it's fear of failure.
Exactly.
And, and that's one of my quotes in the book. The thing that keeps most of us from being our best selves, from achieving our every goal, is fear. The fear of failure. So if we were able to overcome that fear, turn that fear into a strength, then we could achieve whatever we believe. And I know that sounds a bit cliche, but it's true.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
That is true because when I see a therapist as well, I'm very transparent. I'm really excited about seeing this
I'm
therapist.
excited about you seeing this therapist myself.
Well, and just to jump on that real quick before I forget this, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. Particularly in ethnic communities, we tend to think there's something wrong with that.
Exactly.
Right.
And that is the farthest, that is so untrue. I'm sorry, go ahead. I just had to throw that
No, I was disagreeing with you is that, what the therapist was telling me is that we were talking about fear. and why I won't do this and why I won't emerge in certain things, because the fear of not it is for myself, but for other people, disappointing other people, which is hindering me from doing what it is that I want to do. And another thing that I wanted to ask is that, and I talked to my therapist about this as well, is that there's more women at 40 and above that are starting to really emerge, and that's when they're finding themselves. Right. And I'm finding that to be so true. And it's like an unstoppable feeling.
Yes, it is so true. You know, and I'm glad you brought up that whole quote unquote disappointing others, because that's very real, and that is what drives that whole social conditioning. You know, whether it's a feeling of, oh, I want to belong, you know, to this group, or, you know, and I'll just use an example. You know, when I was pledging Delta, you know, everybody was kind of looking at, oh, I want to join this sorority because, you know, because of X, Y, Z. It was never, I want to join this sorority because of what I can bring to the table. Right. You know, my words. You know, it's the people that make the organization. The organization does not make the people. But that whole conditioning around those decisions and processes drove that sort of thinking. So, you know, when you're in relationships or you have a family or, you know, other obligations, you know, particularly women, you know, we're nurturers. You know, we're very selfless. We have to give of ourselves, and that's just a part of who we are and what we do. So a lot of times we tend to give up our dreams, you know, our life, you know, for other people. But there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a family, having a career, you know, doing whatever you want to do. It goes back to that manage your reality.
Dr. Leblanc, you said some really, really great nuggets that I know all of us are going to walk away with today. Mine, what Nate was saying, will be transferable skills, and I'm going to run with managing your reality. I'm gonna give you credit for it 3 times, and after that, I'm gonna say it's mine. But for all of our listeners, what can they do to find out more about your book and the worldwide Defining Paths movement?
Absolutely. So they can go to my website. It is www.definingpaths.info, I-N-F-O. And you can find out everything, you know, about me, about the movement. There is literally a tab that says the movement, and about the book. You can pre-order the book right now at lovetheskinyourin.club, C-L-U-B. And that is, you can link from the Defining Paths website. It should be out the beginning of September. Okay. We're looking to do the DC launch in September, mid-September. Okay. And the movement in general will be a movement that we're hoping to bring to organizations, to communities, to businesses even, in bringing people together in this movement to help them learn how to love from the inside out. So there'll even be like modules and studies. The book will kind of also be integrated into these, we call them hashtag the Love Club. So you might have seen that out there in social media somewhere. But we're moving this thing. We need to bring love and healing to this country, to the world. Yes. And, you know, we're just looking for also facilitators. If you're interested in facilitating these, a cluster in your community, you can find out information online at Defining Paths as well, .info. And link to all my social media there as well.
That sounds great. You're going to have to let us know about the launch party, because we're not too far from D.C., so we could come down. That's what I was thinking about.
I would absolutely love that.
Dr. LeBlanc, I just want you to call me every morning.
We're trying to go to the launch party. He wants a daily call.
Pray for Nate.
Yeah.
Put him on your prayer list.
Nate, we might have to follow up on that.
But thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about your book. I can't wait to read. I thought I was going to be able to order it tonight, but I'll be patient and I'll wait.
Well, we'll get out to launch party.
you can go.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a road trip.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yes, my apologies. As a matter, actually, we were shooting to have it out by this interview, but you know, life happens.
Yes,
and
it does.
happens
Yes,
for
it
me.
does.
So
Well, that's
yeah.
good.
So thank you guys so much for having me
Thank
on. This
you.
has been a blast.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. You all as well.
Bye bye.
I actually love that.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was good.
that was really
Yeah.
good.
Good,
Yeah.
really good. I
That's
mean,
good.
like what you
Great
said, you don't have to be
questions.
stuck in one thing. Because sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I did this,
Exactly.
but I really want to do this, but people going to know me for this. Do I really,
I feel like she was speaking my life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stay home now. I'm going to
Right.
so I can work on all this
I
plans.
know. I was kind of sad because I said I don't have no transferable
Yes, you
skills.
After you did
I
all
can
that
give you a
scribbling
list.
on that paper,
Because I was trying to
You
figure
tried.
it out. I said, do I have any transferable?
some.
Well, you could be his car.
I got some skills that would.
I got
No.
Math.
Maybe I am.
Okay,
okay, you got what?
I have a question for y'all. Okay, so as a child growing up, you're told something about your parents, you have to do it.
Uh-huh.
But as an adult, you really have a choice. How do you guys tell your parents no?
Like this. No. But you know what? I have a hard time telling my mama no. And you know what
As
I
your
don't
adults,
do?
how do you tell your parents
I just
no?
don't answer the phone when she calls. Oh
You
my God.
avoid her?
I do.
Y'all know that is so wrong.
And can I add childish?
That is the worst.
I'm honest to God,
I
I
don't tell
do.
my mom no.
You don't?
Heck
Is it because
no.
why?
Because that's my mom. I'm not going to tell her no. If she tells me that she wants me to do something, I'm going to do it. Now, let me tell you something. That little, I was getting ready to say, that little daughter of mine, Sierra, she does not have any problems telling me no. I was like, Sierra, I wanted her to go with me to Ross. No, I don't want to go. I'm like, why don't you want to go? I got a headache. I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like,
right.
23. I said, did you work today? Then she got mad because she's like, what is work? No, I didn't. But I said, well, did you take any medicine for your headache? No. But she was up at 5 o'clock in the morning watching Game of Thrones. I'm like, are you serious right now?
Exactly.
She died, Mom.
Right.
Exactly. This is my life
right.
now.
So a child shouldn't tell the parent no?
Well, then, okay, well, let me just tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Rhonda. So
Right.
then she works at Old Navy. So I said, Sierra, I want you to take me to Old Navy because I want to get this little black dress. She's like, told me, I said, I was at the shop. I said, I'll be home at 8:30. Just make sure that you're home at 8:30. So,
She's 23, right?
Right.
Just to make sure you're
so,
home. Go
right,
ahead.
she's 23.
Uh-huh.
So I get home. This chick ain't home. So I was like, she gonna tell me now that, well, I had things to do, da 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 da. I said, okay, cool. So she sends me a text and says, I was out. Well, what time are you gonna be home? First, she asked me for some ice cream. Can I get her some ice cream? I was like, no.
Right.
So then she says, oh, Mom, I need to, can I use the car to bring Lydia home?
Oh, so no, she can't
I
say
said,
no.
so you need to call her dad to have her come get it. Well, it's really late, da da da. So I was like, no.
When I go
Tit
to
for
Old
tat.
Navy.
Tit for tat.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
am.
different. When you know that you still need that foot, then you need to be, hello, Ma.
You're not helping me with the issue, though.
I think it depends on the relationship you have with the parent.
Exactly.
With my father, until he got sick, and this is horrible. When he got sick, I had no problem with no. Before he was sick, I did. Because, I'm like, come on, Daddy. This is my first year of marriage. You kind of asking a whole lot. But what I would say to him, because it's not really an it was not an obligation for my daddy because I loved him so much. But at times, it became a little overwhelming. And so I just had to say, if you need something between this time, I may not be available. Like 3 o'clock in the morning. You think you can run me to the store? I can't. 'Cause I don't even know what you need at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but with my mother, our relationship was nothing like hers, my father's. So I have no problem telling her no. But I don't tell her no on a regular basis. Because here's the thing. I feel like today is the day I say I'm most saved. I try to honor my parents.
Exactly.
No matter what the relationship is. I'm not going to allow anyone, because as an adult now, I do have the freedom to not put myself in things where I don't want to be in. But I want to honor her. You know, she's going to the doctor to go pick out a pair of glasses, and she wants me to accompany her. Then I'm going to go. And my mind, I'm going to think, you don't need, you know, or she needs someone. No, I'm sorry. If she needs somebody to help her pick out glasses, I may not go. If she's going to get her eyes checked out, I will go. You know, if it just depends on me what's going on. You know, she wants to get automatic bill set up and said, this is the number they told me to call and do all of this. This is the number they told you. And y'all seen that thing on Facebook where you see the text and then they keep erasing it? What I'm saying to her, is something wrong with your mouth? You can't call them? Just give me the number, sis. I'll call them for you. You know, so I don't have a problem saying no, but it's very, I'm thinking about Sierra. I'm not going to say no. I think when I was younger, I probably got excited about the no because I heard no so much. So my daughter will probably be Sierra. You know, if I ask her stuff, she was probably going to be like, no, no. But I doubted that she had a mother that told her no every time she turned around. You weren't that mother, were you, Paula? I know you weren't. But
yes, she was.
I think that we should feel okay to say no. You can't second it when you don't say nothing.
My mama always calling me, asking me for, can you give my church some money? Can my church get an ad?
Well, you need to find creative ways to say, Mama.
I did. I told her, go to another church that's financially stable.
And he did.
I agree. So, yeah, I don't have a problem saying no to Mama, but I'm not going to say it often.
Right.
My mom she don't really ask for much. I want her to ask. If she has to go to the doctor and stuff, I go. I don't think my problem with my mom is my mom is very, we all in the church, you know, she can't keep it to mother. She can keep it to conversation, and she goes right into speaking in tongues, and right now I'm like, that's not why I called you. I get a mother answer and not a spiritual
She the mother of the church.
Yeah.
She gotta always, he coming in a yellow Honda.
And I'm like, Lord, it's good advice, but it's like, I just want to get your answer. Do I gotta get that answer all the time? So sometimes I don't answer the phone because I know I can't answer because I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get the answer I want. I'm going to get the answer with a whole scripture behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
she can't separate it.
Yeah.
And well, you also have to think though when you're asking a
She's
parent.
73. So.
So is my mother.
Fine.
But you know, her scriptures and then you know Smith and Wesson. But if you're having problems with a parent, the advice that I always give my siblings, it doesn't matter because life is full circle. You know, we start life in Pampers and we end it in that. But don't talk to your remember that they're still adults. Respect them. You know, whether you have to say yes, no, or I don't know, I'll get back to you, or go to another church. Whatever you have to tell them, just be mindful that they are an adult and respect them. I don't care if they've ever given you respect. Just respect them and talk to them like they were an adult.
Okay, well,
Will what?
what's the?
You asked the question for a reason.
Oh, I just wanted your answers. Yeah. I'm trying to figure this thing out.
My mama like that.
Me and my mom, we're too much like we end up arguing.
All the time?
We end up when it gets because my mom is like me.
They are just alike.
And my mom can be very controlling. Still at my age, she will still come in and try to tell me what I need to do.
But you know what?
But do you do
I'm
it?
the type of person, no. If I don't want to do it, me and my brother both, we'll tell you we're not doing it. And it'll be a couple weeks.
See, my mom and I are like best friends. I tell my mom almost.
But no, they're really good friends. They have a really great.
But when it gets there, it's
I
there.
think it's just because they are so much alike. But I believe that. I'm old. I lost my train of thought.
From before.
Yeah. Well, I believe that sometimes when your mom, sometimes parents, once we get grown, they lose that sense that we need them. So they try to come up with stuff for us to do. Can you call me later and tell me? Well, let me tell you how I get my mama. Because my mama like to call me early in the morning and say, "Are you asleep?" What? Yeah. So I call her late in the evening.
Right.
When I know she's asleep.
So you in that tit for tat with
Paula.
Nate,
Go
ahead. What's the next question?
Well, today, you know, Trump, your president, had
who? 45.
45. He made a decision that he decided to undo what President Obama, the policy that he instated last year, which was to allow transgender
I
to
saw
serve in the
that.
military. So he's going to go and decided that he's going to bar, again, transgender individuals from serving in any capacity in the U.S. Army. And this is going to affect between 1,300 and 16,000 members who already are in the armed services who are transgender.
Well, look at the employment rate. It just went up. The unemployment. Now you get a job. Okay, that's
But is he? I think that his only purpose in life is to
Undo
everything
everything.
Obama
Right,
did because
No,
Obama did a
Medicaid,
great
he
job.
just-
Yeah.
Not just
the
Obama.
food
He's
stamp.
his thing is to undo everything a black person. Okay, y'all better wake up.
Stay woke.
Y'all better stay woke. That's what they
Stay
want.
conscious. Is that the new? Is that
We
the
still
woke.
stay woke. We still staying woke.
I didn't know the verbiage.
Here's my thing about the whole transgender thing.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I were talking about this morning, and every president not supporting 45 is going to do something that's going to be controversial and is going to piss off some group. When President Obama said, "Forget it, I'm tired of all of this. It depends on the state. I'm putting my foot down. If you want to get married to somebody, I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever, you're going to do it." You know that pissed off evangelical Christians all over the world. You know that pissed off traditional people and whatever. It pissed them off. This is no different. The only difference is we can argue that President Obama did it from purely a civil rights standpoint.
Exactly.
You know, so we can argue that. We know that 45, everything he does is not motivated by anything but what he can get out of it for his own gain.
Absolutely.
And so he has decided that he needs evangelical Christians for whatever reason. And so I think that that's part of the reason, and because he likes to, can I say this, piss on people.
Yeah.
You know, because he's not thinking about these United States or this republic. We're going to cripple our military because of what somebody's, not even what their sexual preference is, but what they identify with.
That's right.
We're not talking about, you know, it's not like he went back and said, put the band back on, don't ask, don't tell. It's not like he did that. Something that talks about people's relationship. You want to talk about how somebody classifies on an application in my male, female, transgender. So he's crippling our country.
Yes.
And so it's scary because this man does not make decisions based on anything with real foundation, with a sound thinking.
Give a man some ADHD medication.
That's exactly what he needs.
He's all over.
He needs something to do.
And it'll help him lose weight because, you know, the Adderall that I take, it is an appetite suppressant.
My gosh.
That's
before I ask my last question for all of you, do you have any topics that we haven't discussed, anything that's present?
You want to read this?
Oh, yeah, we have a letter. Go ahead and read that.
The letter is.
Read it in your Shirley Strawberry voice.
Okay. I have been married for 21 years. My husband had 2 affairs early in our marriage that resulted in 2 love children by different women. I decided to stay for our 3 children. My husband has to pay child support for these children, and I had a lot of anger about having to struggle. I had to be the one who always worked multiple jobs so that my 3 kids did not have to go without. But the truth be told, it was not because we did not have the money. Out of sight, out of mind is how I have dealt with this for years. Now our relationship has changed. It seems we are roommates instead of husband and wife. I can't seem to get past any of this. I think that I have stayed this long because of my children, not because of what is in my heart. My husband committed adultery twice. Has marriage run its course? Please help. Black, frustrated, and married with kids.
I have something to say, but I'm going to wait. Okay, well, Paula's telling me to go ahead. Okay, so I kind of...
The hour is pressing.
The hour is pressing. It's 9. I kind of addressed this earlier. I think it is the most... it is the worst thing you can do for your children and for your own livelihood to stay in a marriage because of the children. Because you have non-verbally and inadvertently shown them what relationships look like. And so you're showing them that you don't have to be with you. All we have to do is cohabitate. You are roommates. You know, they don't see the love and affection. They don't see the support. And then you could see the negative stuff. They could see a woman who does not stand up for herself, who allows herself to continuously be in a position where she doesn't have to be. They could see a man who does not have to submit to certain things. They could see a whole lot of negativity. So what my advice to this the writer of this letter is that take control of your life, sister. Stop being frustrated. You have, it is not your responsibility to pay for the debts of your husband. Period. It doesn't matter what kind of monetary amount that he has to pay for child support or whatever. Your husband can be a father to his children, and that's where your connection should be. Him being a father to your children, you being a mother to your children. Your marriage ran its course when the second relationship happened outside of wedlock. If it was the same one with the first one, it still would be touch and go. But this man, he didn't just disrespect you with one woman, but another woman. And then is taking care of 2 outside children. You know, this is not 1965. This is not the Supremes. They're not love children, you know, because they ain't wearing the rags. You know, get out and get on with your life.
Yeah.
So
and staying in
she
that
should have been
marriage
gone,
to
basically.
be-
Yeah.
Well, she checked out of the marriage a long time ago.
And to
Anyway.
me, staying in that, she's still being cheated on. Because
Right.
she's being cheated out of a good life.
Right.
She's cheating the children out of,
Right.
you know, being having a cohabitation with good, loving parents.
Right.
I was watching a show the other day, and it was a funny show. But the son said to the mama, the daddy told the mama that he loved them. And then the son said, "Oh, that's what we do now." Because at home, all they saw was the mama and daddy.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
kids understand.
Yeah, they understand.
Y'all give these kids less credit than what they
Right.
earn.
Exactly.
They get it.
They get it.
They see y'all being phony.
Then you end up like the barge. Sorry, I watched that unsung over.
Help her.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, thank y'all so much for contributing to another good season.
Yes.
Yeah. Paula forgot to bring our drinks, but you know,
Okay.
this is ending our summer series. We'll be back on September the 13th.
Oh, okay.
So we have a while to stop for me to start school and get back situated. Any closing remarks?
So what have you learned from this season?
This season?
Yes.
You know what? I think I learned. You know, last season was
Being
naked. No longer ashamed. And I just think it's a continuation. This really touched me as far, and it's not that she really gave me a lot of new information, but she confirmed a lot of information that I had been reading and researching
There's
and hearing
nothing
on
new
my
about
own.
these sons.
Yeah. So I think my biggest thing is I'm not one of these people who can say I'm growing old gracefully, because I'm fearing growing old, because at my age I had already envisioned what this age was going to be for me, and I'm not there. So it's like I'm racing at the clock, and I'm trying to find cuts to get me there, and I'm just running up against a dead wall.
And that's why you're being frustrated, because
Yeah.
you're looking for cuts. But I
Yeah.
think that as I've told you several times, I'm going to start charging you for this excellent advice that I give. But your grandmother told us, do good work, and I think you are doing excellent work, and eventually God will reward you.
Did he tell you when?
No. He may not come when you. Caprice, let me just minister to you. He may not
So
come
thank
when
you
you
so
want
much
him.
for tuning in.
You just said the difference between Chronos time and our time, right?
Yeah.
You have to embrace the moment.
You right on time for God, just
He
you ain't right on
really
time
is.
for
Yeah,
yourself.
Really,
Right.
Yeah.
because once it happens,
That's right.
you're gonna be, like she said, that aha moment or that light bulb moment is gonna come on, and you're gonna, you know how you have those, what are they called, deja vu? That's exactly what walking in your purpose feel like, deja vu, because you're gonna be like, oh my God, I've been here before.
I've had some of those moments.
Yeah.
And I think that I believe that you're walking. I think you're right on target where God wants you to be.
Your life
and
is a
when it
repeat
hits
for God.
you,
Don't
it's
forget.
gonna be
He already
crazy.
know it.
Yep.
I wish she would give me like the time. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Did he
Listen,
tell you that your
embrace-
ladder gonna be your grave?
Right. Embrace your moment. And enjoy the ride.
Pick him up, put him down, pick him up, put him.
Enjoy the ride. You
And-
know,
and
even the bumps. You
Yeah.
know, just enjoy yourself. Because I mean, I get what you're saying about the shelf life. You know, because that's where I am.
Because he is
You know
old.
what I mean?
I hear he's getting old.
And this is why put me on blast the other day on Facebook. Did you see it?
Who?
They put the Benjamin Button
Who did that?
gift.
That's not what
Who?
happened.
I know what he's so
I didn't notice that the man was fading old.
Oh, you didn't notice that?
I didn't notice that the man was fading old.
I had took a picture and the lighting was just nice. You know, I did look a couple centuries younger, and I was like, I really like this picture. So everybody was just talking how good I look, and then he put the Benjamin Button there, and you know, I was like, oh.
Deflated.
Yeah.
I want everybody to know was like, I am so super hungry.
On that note.
Yes. So until September 13th, right? 7 o'clock. Right here. Same place, same time, and we'll see if we get this crew to come on back with us. And we'll be on video too by then.
Awesome.
So,
and we're looking for sponsorships so we can all get paid.
Yes. Hey, man. At least pay for parking.
Come on.
And a meal afterwards.
And get Paula some food.
Yes.
I am hungry. I only had a yogurt and a protein bar today. That's it. I'm starved.
Subway, if you're listening.
Until then, everybody be blessed.
Thank you for listening to Let's Face It with Will Strayhorn and Friends. Please be sure to visit us on the web at letsfaceitradio.com and at Let's Face It Radio on Facebook for the latest in show information and exciting, innovating ways that you can be a part of the show. So tune in next week, same place, same time, for real people, real topics, real talk. Let's face it.